Welcome to Confessions by Banana Ketchup. What is your opinion on entities that mimic? I've been having experiences lately with something mimicking my family and more recently, my partner's father. I've been told that this could be demonic, but I don't necessarily think it's evil, just unsettling. I was wondering what you all think. I'm posting my experiences below. I was staying with my parents for a few months while my partner was out of state, and one night, I was staying up really late because of my insomnia, like around 3 a.m., and I was just chilling in my bed. One earbud in my left ear, but no sound was playing. And on my right side, which, for clarification, is away from any access points, like people would have to walk around my bed to get to that ear, and even then, there was a bunch of stuff that they would have had to move in order to get close enough for this. In my right ear, really loud, a man's voice straight up said, "Boo!" really calmly, like someone trying to scare you. It was directly in my ear, and I could feel their breath on my ear when they said it. I jumped a little and turned on my flashlight and looked around, but there wasn't anyone there. So I had my flashlight on and I was looking around, but there was no one and the house was dead silent. Then I heard the stairs start creaking and the sound of a man talking, almost like he was talking to himself. And he was walking down the stairs. From where I was sleeping, I could see the stairs and there wasn't anyone there. Then the next thing that happened was, one night I was going downstairs to look for my mom to talk to her about something, and their bedroom door is at the base of the stairs. Like there is just a short hallway big enough for the door of the laundry room and then their bedroom doorway. So as I'm coming downstairs, I see that the lamp is on in their room. It's not super bright, but you can still see most stuff. And as I'm walking down, I see my mom walk across the room into their attached bathroom. So I'm like, okay, mom went to the bathroom. I'll catch her when she comes out. So I turn down the main hallway to go see what's going on in the front room because the light was on, and turns out my mom is in there. She was working on a craft project my grandmother sent her. There was no way she could go from her room to the front room without me seeing her and basically walking alongside her. And I knew it wasn't my dad because he was playing video games really loudly in his office. So I don't know what I saw in my parents' room, but it looked like my mom. And I want to add that since then, I've been having dreams about this. Me coming down and seeing her walk across. But in my dreams, this thing that isn't my mother turns and smiles at me really big. And it has teeth that look like blades, really shiny and sharp. Another time, I was taking a nap in my brother's room, and I was awoken by a voice that sounded like my youngest brother saying, "Help!" I was literally jolted out of sleep by it. When I opened my eyes, it was really dark in the room because night had fallen while I was napping, and my brother's closet doors were open, and I saw the outline of a small person standing in the closet. Again, I pulled out my flashlight and shined it in the closet, but no one was there. My brother ended up being fine, playing video games in another room when I checked on him. There is no way I would have been able to hear him from outside of the room. I have hearing loss and the house had thick walls, so it was pretty spooky. I got the feeling something was trying to mimic my brother the way something had mimicked my mother. The last thing that happened at my parents' house wasn't mimicry, but was still weird. My dad pulled me aside one night and said, "Look, if you are going to come downstairs in the middle of the night, you need to turn the lights off when you're done." And I was like, what the F are you talking about? I didn't come downstairs and turn lights on in the middle of the night. He ended up asking all of my siblings if we had done it in the previous night, and we all said no. He told us that when he woke up in the morning, the kitchen lights were all on, and the outside cameras showed that they came on around 3 a.m. and also showing the shadow of someone moving around in the kitchen. He also said that that night, before the lights came on, he and my mom heard a loud bang that sounded like someone was banging on their bedroom door. They opened it and looked around, but there was no one there. He also said it might have come from upstairs if someone was in the bathroom above their room and dropped something. But none of us had used the bathroom that night, and none of us heard anything. It was really strange. So then, my partner was coming back home, and I went home as well. I got home the day before his flight landed. I was in our kitchen moving stuff around and cleaning up, and I threw away an empty pill bottle in our kitchen trash can. Well, I was doing something in the kitchen, facing away from the trash can, and something hit my back and fell to the floor. When I turned around to look, because I was like, what the F? It was the pill bottle. Like someone just picked it up and threw it at me. And I knew it was the same one because it was the bottle for some pet medicine we had given our cats before we left, that we hadn't bought in months before that. So we only had the one bottle. Before we left for the 2 months, we never had anything strange or paranormal happen in our house. Since getting back, we've both heard footsteps and voices. Our house is raised and kinda like a mobile home, so when people walk, the house can sometimes shake a little if they walk heavily, and we can feel that happening when we hear the footsteps. My partner's dad lives with us when he's not at his girlfriend's place, and lately I've been hearing his voice when he's not home. This morning, I heard him clear his throat, which is something he does a lot because he's a smoker. And when I went to see if he was there, he wasn't. The reason I think this is mimicry again, aside from voices, is because the other night I was in the bathroom and the door was cracked a little, so I could see a sliver of our bed. I heard and felt footsteps, so I looked in the crack and I saw a black shape of a person, roughly the same size of my partner's dad, except shorter, lean over our bed like they were reaching for something that was closer to the other side, and then stand up and walk away. I don't know what to make of it. I just finished typing all of this, and I just heard him clear his throat again in the other room. He is still not home. TLDR, something is mimicking people in my life and being annoying. Help! Thank you, TheBottomsOfOurFeet, the author. What the duck is going on? I moved into the house that I'm currently living in with my family in August of 2019. It is a 4-bedroom house. I have my own room with 2 beds, one for myself and one for my little sister. My little sister sleeps with my parents in their room, leaving me to sleep alone in mine. A few months ago, my entire closet collapsed in on itself at 4 a.m. The crashing noise was quite literally as loud as a car crash. My closet had a metal bar where I would hang my clothes and a few cabinets kept underneath. The next morning, I explained to my family what had happened, and they said that they heard absolutely nothing. As someone who strongly believes in paranormal activity and supernatural forces, I was spooked by the experience, considering that my closet had been perfectly stable ever since moving into the house and withstanding the weight of the clothes that I would hang inside of it. Despite my suspicions, I let it go because my family would tell me that I'm just exaggerating. My family are huge skeptics of all things paranormal. After this experience, my room has never felt the same. Most nights, my room will feel comfortable and warm, as your bedroom should feel. However, lately, I've been feeling disturbed and almost as if I'm not welcome into my own room, like I have to constantly watch my back. Last week, I had similar experiences 3 consecutive nights in a row, all occurring at a relatively close time to one another, 2:03 to 2:08 a.m. I would be asleep in bed, and I would feel my bed shaking, vibrating almost. I would wake up, and it would immediately stop. The movement is almost comparable to a very brief earthquake. But an earthquake 3 times in a row, each at the same time of night? Come on! Last night, the energy of my room felt completely off. I felt like I was supposed to be anticipating for something bad to happen. After tossing and turning, trying to get myself to fall asleep, I heard noises such as fingernails tapping on my beside window, indistinct talking, muffled mumbling. I decided to go downstairs and sleep on the floor of my sister's room because I was honestly just scared shitless. I was able to sleep for a while, but around 5 a.m., I randomly woke up to a faint moaning outside of her bedroom window. I also kept hearing her bedsheets rustling around throughout the night, as if someone else was in the bed with her trying to get comfortable. But each time, I would look to see if it was just her moving around in her sleep. She was completely still in the same position, no movement at all. I tried doing some research, and the only plausible reasoning I could find were hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations. Please let me know if anyone had similar experiences, insight on what might be going on, or if I'm just losing my ducking mind, because I have no idea. All I know is that something definitely doesn't feel right. Thank you, TTRN, the author. Shadow Man watches me sleep. Several years ago, I woke up to see a black shadow hovering formless about 5 inches above my face. I blinked and watched the shadow disintegrate in the air. I figured it was a leftover fragment of a dream I brought with me into conscious. It happened a couple more times over the years, and each time I just watched it for 2 or 3 seconds until it faded. One night, I was asleep alone in my apartment. For some reason, I woke up and saw the shadow of a man sneaking up from the end of my bed towards me. He froze in his tracks the moment I moved. I will never forget the hunched-over silhouette. I screamed, "What the duck?" and scrambled to the other side of my bed to get away. The shadow dissolved as it had done before. A few months later, I woke up in the middle of the night and saw my boyfriend standing at the end of the bed, staring at me. He was a black silhouette to the slightly lighted window behind him, tall and slim. I wondered what was he doing, thinking perhaps he came back from the bathroom, being careful not to wake me up. I was about to talk to him when I suddenly realized I could hear my boyfriend snoring in bed, right next to me. The moment I jolted, the shadow started to fade. I haven't seen the shadow man since, but sometimes I wake up at night and feel like something is there. So I keep my eyes closed and move so he knows I'm awake and will leave, hopefully. Has anyone experienced something like this? Thank you, Woman and Wolf, the author. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you already haven't, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any new episodes. See you again soon, and until then, please be safe.